the story of Earth, and our story too. How did it begin? Where has it reached? And where is it taking us? In today's episode, we'll look at Earth's history from its very formation to our present time, going through all the eras it has passed through, and we'll also glance at the future to see where we're headed. The whole story began 4.5 billion years ago, when there was a dense cosmic cloud of gas and dust floating in space called the solar nebula. At the center of this cloud, the increasing pressure caused by gravity led hydrogen atoms to fuse together, producing helium gas. This released enormous amounts of energy, resulting in the birth of the Sun. After this explosion and the Sun's birth, the remaining dust particles and grains in the solar nebula began clumping together and growing in size, forming small asteroids. Over time, and here I don't mean a day, a month, or a year, I mean millions of years, these asteroids began gathering together through gravity to form the inner planets of the solar system. At this stage, planets are called protoplanets, still small and in the early stages of their existence. While Earth was still forming as a protoplanet, another protoplanet called Theia, roughly the size of Mars, collided with it. This collision produced debris made of rocks and small asteroids that began orbiting around Earth like Saturn's rings. Over time, these rocks combined together and formed the closest object to us in space, the Moon. Music. Over the past 4 billion years, Earth has evolved and passed through many eras until it reached our current time. The first era Earth went through at the beginning of its life was the Hadean Eon. Back then, Earth was literally a hell in the true sense of the word due to the collisions it endured during its formation. A very thick atmosphere formed around it, trapping heat inside just like Venus does today. At that time, there was no liquid water at all. All the water present on the planet existed as gases in the atmosphere. There was also volcanic activity and lava everywhere on the planet. But soon all of this began to calm down and temperatures started dropping. Millions of years passed and Earth cooled enough for water vapor to condense into liquid water. That's when the first ocean appeared and covered the entire planet, turning Earth into a water world. And since everything needs water, life began to appear on this blue planet. A few million years later, land emerged again from beneath the oceans, and along with it appeared a type of bacteria called cyanobacteria, which began producing oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. With the reduced presence of carbon dioxide to warm it, Earth cooled dramatically and entered a new era of its life, the Ice Age. Unlike the Hadean, the planet became entirely ice and frost, with below freezing temperatures everywhere. Millions of years passed. Temperatures became moderate. The air became saturated with oxygen. Continents began to form, and plants began appearing on Earth's surface. Earth flourished with all forms and kinds of life. But 250 million years ago, Earth entered a new era of its life. An era with essentially one dominant creature controlling everything on Earth. The age of the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs ruled Earth for more than 160 million years and were the dominant creatures in the air, on land, and in the sea. They came in countless types and forms. Some were predators that ate meat. Some were enormous but ate only leaves. Some flew, some swam. Some walked on 2 legs, some on 4, and some even ate each other. With all this diversity, brutality, and savagery, there were bloody battles and conflicts between different species. They killed and ate each other, committed savage massacres, even among members of the same species killing one another. But they didn't know that the real danger was approaching. A giant asteroid the size of Mount Everest heading toward Earth, with an impact estimated at 1 billion times the power of a nuclear bomb. And so the age of the dinosaurs ended, leaving behind nothing but fossils, proving that creatures ruled Earth millions of years before us. Many years passed and humans appeared on Earth. Over time, they began to evolve and dominate everything on the planet, controlling everything. Here I mean the advancement of science and knowledge. But unfortunately, along with humans came destruction and corruption on land and sea. Indeed, humans managed in a very short time to exhaust most of Earth's resources and destroy the planet's ecosystems that had existed for millions of years. Earth found itself on the edge of the abyss, and humans began searching for an alternative, thinking of colonizing other planets like Mars, for which there are already planned missions to attempt settlement. If humans manage to do this before Earth collapses on them, or before they destroy themselves through nuclear war, for more than 4 billion years, Earth has existed. Since then until now, it has passed through many, many eras. Difficult times full of destruction and devastation, and in complete contrast, other times of calm and stillness. Time is the master of the situation. The planet witnessed the birth of life from its very beginning, and every form and type of creature that lived on land, flew in the air, or swam beneath the sea passed through it. The planet was controlled for millions of years by the mightiest beasts that ever lived on its surface, and it also witnessed their disappearance, extinction, and painful, brutal end. Eras come and eras go, creatures appear and others go extinct. Years and years pass, and Earth remains steady in its place, doing its job day after day, year after year, tirelessly and relentlessly since its creation until now. But what will happen in the future, and what do the coming years hold? That's what we'll find out in today's episode. Laughter. We'll begin our journey in the year 2050, the peak of virtual world technology. Currently, we already have VR headsets that let you experience an event as if it were completely real. And this is a real fact, not just fiction. Now there's also Apple's smart glasses, the Apple Vision Pro, which transform the space around you into a fully interactive environment and can also completely disconnect you from the surrounding world, immersing you in other virtual worlds of your choosing. As usual, anything new starts out large, expensive, and limited in capability, but over time it develops quickly, becomes cheaper, and becomes accessible to everyone. Think of the difference between old computers and today's computers, or old phones and today's phones. With the acceleration in development we're currently experiencing, by 2050, virtual world headsets will have transformed into ordinary-looking glasses, the size of regular reading glasses, but packed with countless functions used by everyone of all ages. And who knows, they might even develop further into simple contact lenses, through which you could do everything with just your eyes. 2061 will see an event that happens once every 75 years. Halley's Comet, passing near Earth's orbit. As the comet nears the Sun, the ice layers on it will begin to evaporate, creating a very long tail extending millions of kilometers behind it. And then you'll see one of the most beautiful sights possible in the sky, which could last for weeks or months. 2100, the era of AI dominance over the world. By this year, artificial intelligence will have taken over every field in the world, and human-like programmed robots will spread into every aspect of life. It'll be completely normal to see a robot doing housework and even cooking for you. Robots and AI will be used in most jobs and occupations, and human employees will be replaced by AI-programmed robots, which will obviously be far better for business owners in every respect. If you compare a human to a robot in practical terms, the robot will work more hours than a human, with higher efficiency and a much lower error rate compared to humans. It also won't have human needs, like being tired one day and unable to come in, or wanting vacation time to spend with friends and family. Plus, the cost of a robot will be lower than a human employee's. So humans will be replaced by robots in most jobs and occupations. Naturally, this will result in very high unemployment rates, and with it rising poverty, crime, and homelessness. Eventually, this will lead to global uprisings against AI and robots, and the response to that could be very harsh and difficult. 2178. Pluto will complete one full orbit around the Sun since its discovery in 1930, meaning 1 year on Pluto equals 248 Earth years, due to the enormous distance between Pluto and the Sun, which reaches up to 40 astronomical units, or about 7.3 billion kilometers at its farthest point. Because of this, the Sun would appear from Pluto's surface like just an ordinary star in the sky, only a bit closer, and its daylight on the planet would be equivalent to the light of a full moon on Earth at night. Back to Earth. In the year 2200, about 175 years from now, human civilization will have advanced greatly in every field. New giant cities will be built, surrounded by greenery and water everywhere, for better health and quality of life. There will be heavy reliance on clean energy, because by then the world's reserves of fossil fuels will have run out, and with them most of the ways of life we know today that depend mainly on fuel. Everything will function differently. But cities will still be crowded with people, since the population is expected to reach more than 10 billion by 2200. However, this situation won't last long, because 100 years later, by 2300, that number will drop to less than 7 billion. What will cause this? Powerful movements in tectonic plates will occur, resulting in extremely strong and destructive earthquakes followed by massive volcanic eruptions, not to mention tsunami waves and floods caused by the earthquakes. Because of these disasters, many coastal cities will disappear, sinking beneath the depths of the ocean, and the shape of continents and countries on Earth will change. Let's speed up through time, faster and faster. By 2744, Earth's magnetic field will have flipped. This will be followed in 2880 by a massive asteroid collision with Earth, producing the strongest tsunami waves humanity has ever witnessed, flooding most of the world's countries, leaving only a little behind as a memory. Let's run through time faster and faster, without stopping. After about 200,000 years, Chernobyl will become habitable again, following the 1986 disaster. After 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will finally reach a star other than the Sun. At some point within the next 100,000 years, the star Betelgeuse, a red giant nearing the end of its life and one of the brightest stars in Earth's sky, will explode in a massive supernova, and the light of the explosion will be visible from Earth, after which Betelgeuse will turn into a neutron star, or black hole. Let's run through time faster and faster and faster. After 5 million years, the footprints left on the moon's surface by Apollo astronauts in 1969 will disappear. Within 30 to 50 million years, Mars's moon Phobos will get very close to the planet, and the planet's gravity will tear it apart into small rocks, which will form rings around Mars. And after that, Saturn will lose its rings. After 220 million years, the Sun will complete one full orbit around the galaxy. Keep in mind the Sun moves in its orbit around the galactic center at a speed of 230 kilometers per second. Over these millions of years passing by, many stars will die and disappear from the sky forever until it's the Sun's turn. After about 1 billion years, the Sun will enter the beginning of its end. The hydrogen in its core will start running out, causing the core to contract and the rate of nuclear fusion to increase. Faster fusion, meaning more energy, more light, and more heat. As the core contracts further, the Sun's outer layers will expand outward more and more, and the Sun will transform into a red giant, consuming Mercury and Venus along its way and reaching all the way to Earth's orbit. The Sun's life will then end, and it will turn into a white dwarf, a star small in size, roughly the size of Earth, but extremely dense, and this will be the corpse of the Sun. With the Sun's end, all existence of life on Earth or anywhere else in the solar system will come to an end, and this will be the inevitable end of everything.